Good morning out there to all the listeners on 99.5 FM, 95.3 on the Fan Sports Network. It's Tara, it's Paul, and it's another edition coming at you of The Drive on a great Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. And boy, did we have some great sports last night. Today's show brought to you by Zag, Protect It Better. Get $20 off phone repair at the 2 St. George or 1 Cedar City Zag. Just mention the radio special to get that $20 off. And a lot of people, I feel like, in the area. I saw last night we were at Snow Canyon High School for the Region 9 baseball game. And Devin's phone was blowing up with people saying, this Vegas-Utah game is insane. Like I saw at least 3 texts while we were doing the game because there was a flurry of penalties. All this stuff is happening. We're kind of keeping one eye on it. You had a closer eye and attention on the game. And just kind of summarize the first period. I feel like both these teams came out just blazing and physical.
They did. Yeah, it was a great first period. And Cooley, I can't remember what the penalty was, but he did get a penalty in that first period.
Yes.
And the best part about that was you could hear in the background the Golden Knights were playing the theme song for The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives as he's heading to the sin bin.
It's a pretty premium troll job.
It was a premium troll job. It was like so epic. So, but yeah, it was great. And then they scored. Was it Cooley that scored or Gunther? It was Gunther that scored in the first. And I texted the group and I was like, heck
no, the first was the first goal the Rasmus Anderson own goal.
Was that?
Or was it Gunther first?
Let me
check.
But
go ahead.
But
go
anyway,
ahead. I'm sorry.
One of them scored.
Yes.
And so I, sent a talking crap text to our fan tribe.
Yes.
And and then right after I sent that, Barbashev went right back down and scored.
Yes.
And we do have that goal. We'll play it here in just a second. But then Devin, texted back and he was like, go Knights, go. What's wrong with you two? And it's like,
yeah. There's something in the water or something for you two.
Like, I want the Mammoths to win. He's like, well, be prepared to be disappointed. But you know what, Devin? I was not disappointed last night.
Yes, you weren't. And
it's far from over, but I was not disappointed last night.
I was stoking the flames in the chat, looking for a reaction, trying to get him to react.
Baiting him.
But he would not. He kind of said it's a long series.
It's a
and,
series,
plenty of games left, long way to go, all those phrases, all those cliches at this point, I would say. But anyone that loses a game, you don't want to lose. So just saying the long series thing and it's going to go 6 or 7, I mean, that's reassurance to people that just lost.
Right.
So let's start with the Barbashev goal. This was the marker that made it 2-2 as the Mammoth took the lead and had a lead for not very long. As Barbashev, this was one of the prettier plays, just skating through layers of defenders and scoring. It was a beautiful play, and here it is.
Now Sergachev feeds it to center, picked up by Barbashev and wait for his line mates to get onside. Barbashev cutting it down low, backhand, and he scores! What a move and what a goal for Ivan Barbashev! Upstairs on the backhand.
And Barbashev's been a playoff player since they acquired him.
Yeah.
The year they won the cup, he was a trade deadline acquisition, and he has been. They call him the boys on Spit and Chicklets call him the Russian cigarette machine. I don't know.
You gotta love that.
I guess so. He's reliable. He's always hot. Is kind of their thing in the playoffs. They spark the Russian cigarette, and he scores, and you think, okay, so the Knights, best third period team in hockey, they're going to tie this game up in the second and ultimately win the game. But that was not the script last night for all our Tuss Up tribe out there.
Right.
You got to be feeling pretty with your chest out today.
Oh, yeah.
Because none other than number 92, number 21 years old, the Pittsburgh native, has really turned into a demon this series. I mean, he has activated a new level of play, and this was a play where Gunther creates it, to be honest with you, with his speed. Gets around the defenders of Vegas and goes straight to the net, and Cooley as you can see, if you're watching on our stream, he sees Gunther making the cut to the net, and he looks to follow up. He goes to the hard area right in front of the net,
right
in the slot, in the crease, right there, and he's rewarded big time as, wow, what a play this was. And this is when the Utah Mammoth took the lead for good.
Now John Marino in his own end. Up the boards, Kyler Yamamoto gives way. Gunther's got it. He brings it in. Gunther getting around his man. Gunther with a shot. Stop off the pipe. He scores! Logan Cooley.
Yeah, like I said, Gunther set that up. Logan Cooley just had to follow it up with the easy tap in.
He did. But you got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
So pretty big goal there. Cooley becomes the first American-born player ever in NHL history to score in his first 2 NHL playoff games. Pretty monumentous night and first couple games for the young 21-year-old from Pittsburgh. As I said, he is one of the bright stars in the NHL, and he is showing it in this series. For all the East Coast viewers, you know, people that don't see the Utah Mammoth, the Vegas Golden Knights a lot, they're seeing a star before our very eyes right now. And I think, we had the debate between Bedard, Celebrini, and Cooley months ago. And Celebrini's point totals are not going to be
not even
touched.
Yeah, there.
I understand that. But Celebrini obviously better than the other two, and you called that. You were right. But I think it's time to start putting Logan Cooley in that elite class of skaters. Maybe not the point totals, the over 100 points and all that stuff that comes with being the one lone star on the Sharks that's a legit superstar.
Yeah.
I think Cooley is blooming into a legit superstar.
He is, yeah.
Before our very eyes. And he got hurt for a large stretch of the season running into that post with his left knee.
So, what, 8 weeks?
I think it was about 8 weeks. It was pretty extended.
They originally said 6 to 8, and it ended up being 8.
On the longer end of the scale, yeah. So, and they were a totally different team without him. Let's just be honest. I mean, they just don't have that flash, that flair, that skill. When Gunther, Cooley, Keller, Schmaltz are all going and playing at the right clip and with their speed, it's hard for any team to contain them. Even a team that's battle-tested, playoff-tested, like the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
I mean,
when Cooley scored that goal, there was still 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
And so, they did get the lead, but it was not over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was still nervous the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And, like, pregame, I don't know if you saw this, but PK Subban was interviewing Dowd for the Golden Knights.
Yeah.
And, Torts coming in. Now he's 8-1-1. Thank you, Mammoth.
Yeah, there we go.
Before this game, though, he was 8-0-1. But they were 6-0 when trailing in the third period.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because Subban was like, Dowd, is that because you guys are just terrified of what he's going to do to you at practice the next day if you lose?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we just, he just knows how to turn us on and get us going.
Yeah.
And so that was like always in the back of my mind. And I'm like, please just hold on to it, guys. Please hold on to it. Do not like blow this lead and lose the game. And they did. They held on.
They held on for dear life, and a lot of stuff, a lot of takeaways from the game. First off, I want to just say this about the Mammoth. They did get the huge win, and that's awesome. But you're not going to win this series with Dylan Gunther and Logan Cooley being your only source of goals.
Yeah.
That is a massive glaring elephant in the room right now for the Mammoth.
Yeah, which is crazy because Schmaltz came into it just on fire, was scoring a lot of goals, and they need him to step back up and start scoring.
That's right.
As well as like Peterka and some of those others that we've kind of gotten used to them scoring too.
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought that Schmaltz, a 30-plus goal scorer, Peterka, 25-plus guy.
Right.
Like, you feel like these guys are ready to go, but this is their first sample of playoff action.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just equating. I mean, they might be more comfortable in the friendly confines of the Delta Center.
Yeah. Luckily, we head back home now. So
that's right. And the center of the ice, the neutral zone, the Mammoth pick up a lot of speed through center and through the neutral zone. I feel like Vegas hasn't really put up a lot of roadblocks to Gunther's the Cooley game-winning goal.
Yeah,
Gunther just skates by the entire defense with his speed. It's not like it's like some tic-tac-toe passing.
Right, there's nobody in front of him like blocking or anything. Yeah,
it's amazing to think that game-winning goal was that easy.
Right.
in the playoff.
There were
game.
no sticks, in the way or anything. Like you said, he just skated right past everybody and had the shot on goal. It bounced out, and Cooley followed it up.
And Carter Hart's been great. Let's be honest about that. But one thing that he has done these first 2 games of this series, he's allowed some juicy rebounds. He has allowed some some stuff right in the slot, right in front of the net, scrums, all kinds of stuff. So much to the point that Rasmus Anderson right in front of his own goal just kicks it in, and Carter Hart's got no way to defend that. But and they had another fluky goal in game 1, the Stenlund goal, whenever it bounced off a defender's skate into the net. So the Mammoth have been fortunate. I'll say that now. They benefited from an own goal and a kicked in goal by a defenseman. So our 2 own goals, really. So they've really been the beneficiary of that. Will Gunther and Cooley continue to stay scorching hot? You got to hope so if you're a Mammoth fan, because right now the depth scoring isn't there. It's not there.
And we need the other people to get hot too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Need some more.
We need Keller. We need Schmaltz. We need Peterka. We need all of these guys performing.
That's right. If you want to win this series,
right?
If you're the Utah Mammoth and this is your first playoff series, this is your inaugural playoff run, you want to make it more than 1 round. You want to go more than 5 games. You want to stretch it to 7. You want to win the series. You want to do big things this season, because once you're in the dance, you're there. You know, you got to wait a whole nother 82 game season to get back to this. So you got to capitalize while you're here. And I feel like last night they really did. They found a way to get it done. There was a lot of penalties in this game, a ton in the first 2 periods. I feel like a lot of 4-on-4. We saw some 4-on-3 hockey.
We did,
so many penalties are called. The boxes got crowded.
Yeah.
But when the dust settled, the Utah Mammoth win the game 3-2 over the Vegas Golden Knights to tie the West first round series at 1. With now Utah has home ice advantage. Shifting it back to the Delta Center for game 3 on Friday.
Right.
Should be a packed barn. I think that it'll be electric in there. It'll be one of the greatest environments in the history of the Delta Center, Jazz or Mammoth, I think. The decibel, they got to get, like I saw a social media video from the Buffalo Sabres.
Okay.
They had one of their PR team go with a decibel meter and stand in the middle of the crowd after the 4-2 empty net goal went in game 1. The decibel meter hit 117. 117 on the decibel meter. I want to see Utah have a PR staff or social media person, somebody, just go in the crowd when they score their first goal in the playoffs at home. I think it will be
be epic.
A gargantuan pop of noise.
Right.
So I think it'll obviously
it might be Virginia Tech enter Sandman worthy.
Yes. People will be jumping everywhere, just like Sandman. So in review, though, the Utah Mammoth, as we've made it pretty clear. Devin's made it pretty clear. We're kind of on opposite sides of the aisle for this series. Me and Tara have been covering the Mammoth really since last year, and seeing this team go from out of the playoffs with 6-7 games left in the season to now fighting tooth and nail with one of the premier teams, I feel like, in the last 5 years. What team has been more consistent than the Las Vegas Golden Knights? I mean, not many. Not many. They've only missed the playoffs once in their entire 8-year infancy, I guess I'll call it. Now we're going on a decade now almost. So not quite infancy anymore. So this has been a super consistent team that has always been a playoff battle-tested team. And they've gained a great fan base in Southern Utah because I think largely a lot to do with their success. A lot of people in sports like to root for a winner. Let's be clear. And we have kind of a house divided here in St. George with the Mammoth fans and the Knights fans. And we have a studio divided. I know he's not here today, but we have a studio divided for this series. So, it's like Utes and Cougars. And, this is like, who are you rooting for, Mammoth or Knights? And I feel like that's a question around the water cooler as we're gaining more and more hockey fans. Just to put it in perspective, the Utah media had a huge showing in Las Vegas. Because I reached out to the PR staff down there with the Las Vegas Golden Knights trying to get in for game 1. And they said, we have overwhelming demand from the Utah media. So this is a big story not only for St. George, but the entire state of Utah, that the Utah Mammoth are right in the thick of things, tied 1-1 in the series with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So that was the recap from last night. And Tara had another game she was clued into last night. As you were, you and your daughter, obviously Andy, a big Tampa Bay Lightning fan, and they did fall in game 1 in devastating fashion, but they rebounded.
They did
in
rebound.
game 2.
Yeah, and it was a pretty brutal, chippy game. You want to talk about penalty minutes.
Yeah.
And the sin bin just being full. At this point, I don't know why Tampa Bay doesn't just make their penalty box a lot bigger, because they know it's always going to be occupied with at least like 5+ guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even in the first period, there was 30 minutes of penalty time. So it got pretty crazy. But the cool thing about last night was Brandon Hagel, got Tampa Bay's first ever Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know what that is a goal, an assist, and a major fighting penalty.
Yeah.
So a 5-minute major. And that was the first one in Tampa Bay Lightning history. I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
And I love Hagel. He's pretty amazing. So
it's amazing that the first one in franchise history comes.
I know.
This late into their run. I feel like the Lightning been around for a while now, expansion team, of course, but they've been around for some time now, and to not have one Gordie Howe hat trick in the history of the team, that's pretty cool.
It blew my mind when they had that stat.
Yeah.
I was like, what? That's crazy.
That's pretty wild, to be honest with you. So, good for Brandon Hagel.
Yeah.
Chips in a Gordie Howe hat trick in the 3-2 overtime win over the Habs last night for the Tampa Bay Lightning. All right, well, that's your Mammoth Knights recap here on The Drive. Was a thrilling game last night. Anybody who was dialed in late last night, hit us up on the text line, 435-990-9950. Who do you side with? Are you with the Mammoth for this playoff run? Like me and Tara.
Yes. Do we need to go paint a Mammoth, logo on Devin's lawn while he's gone or something? So he comes back to something real nice.
Yes, he could. The only problem is his wife's home right now, so she probably wouldn't allow us to get out on the lawn. But it would be nice. It would be a nice touch from us.
Right?
I think he would appreciate
It
it.
would be a nice welcome home gift, right?
What is this? Yeah. So, it was a fun night of NHL action all across the league. We had, 3 games last night? 4 games?
Kings played as well. Kings and Avs.
Yes. We had 4 games.
Yes.
So 4 full slate of action. And today, no different. The NHL playoffs come at you hard and fast. They don't wait. You've got 3 games today: Penguins, Flyers, Stars, Wild, Ducks, Oilers, all going on Wednesday. And the next time you will see the Vegas Golden Knights and the Utah Mammoth will be Friday night from the Delta Center. We're going to have a big preview on tomorrow's show as well. Voice the Mammoth, Mike Folt of the radio voice, will join us. We believe in the second hour, still ironing out the details, but we will have a comprehensive preview for you on Thursday's show. And rightly so, after last night's game. It was super exciting, pulse-pounding action throughout. That last minute, though, pretty nerve-wracking for Mammoth fans, I would say.
It was.
As the Knights had a pretty Torts kind of emptied the net early with 2 minutes and 50-something seconds.
Yeah, it was just under 3 minutes.
Yeah, and they had a nice little, push there, some pressure, nice zone time, but unable to get it past Veggie. And the Mammoth win, of course. So we will be clued in, ready to go for Game 3 between these two teams. The Battle of I-15, the feud on 15. I know that's a SUU Utah Tech Devin liner, but I think that the feud on 15 might be kind of appropriate. So, all right, let's take our first break of the show, and we will continue with Would You Rather right after this quick break. Back live here from the Finlay Hyundai Studios. Thanks for joining us today on today's show. If you'd like to get out, we have Aviators tickets against the Salt Lake Bees this week. Games are tonight through Sunday. If you'd like tickets to one of those games, just throw us a text on the text line, 435-990-9950. You will be put into a raffle for the tickets, which will be randomly chosen. And if you win, get down there and see two of our local teams, the affiliates, obviously the stars of tomorrow in Major League Baseball, hopefully. So pretty cool to have an opportunity to go to a game down in Las Vegas. And if you'd like tickets, again, 435-990-9950. Just text keyword Aviators. All right, let's get into what should be really fun here. We've got five topics, and we're going to tackle them in the Would You Rather format. Let's get going. Would You Rather is brought to you today by Coral Canyon Golf Course. It's fantastic. Get out and play great golf for a great price. Call for tee times today, 435-688-1700. That's 435-688-1700 or at coralcanyongolf.com. All right, let's get started with the first one here, as this is quite the topic, so much so that the Steelers GM is addressing it. How about Aaron Rodgers or Ty Simpson?
Okay.
And we do have Omar Khan, the GM of the Steelers here. This was him talking the pre-draft presser to the Pittsburgh media about what the latest on the mystery man, Aaron Rodgers, is.
On Aaron, I know you guys are going to ask me on Aaron. We've had some great communication with Aaron, and nothing's changed, but it's all been positive and good. And, I said this to you guys in March when we met. He knows how we feel about him, and, we know how he feels about us. On Aaron, I know you guys are going to ask me.
Sounds like a bunch of nothing. So
yeah.
He has no concrete update is what he wants to say there, but instead he's going to give you a bunch of GM speak. So right now there may be conversations, but Aaron Rodgers has made nothing known about his future. It sounds like not even to Omar Khan, the Steelers GM.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about you, but I am so sick of waiting on Aaron Rodgers. Like, how long did we wait last season before it started to what his term was going to do, if he was going to sign with them or what he was going to do? It's always like, why are we waiting on Aaron Rodgers?
He's got to do his retreats, buddy.
Hippie dude. Yeah. I'm like, I am over it.
Yeah.
So
I understand the frustration. Yeah. Imagine being a Steelers fan.
I can only imagine.
It is so frustrating, and almost to the point that's what brings the would you rather.
Right.
Would you rather the 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers at the very end of his career
wants to hold you hostage every season?
That is a great term. He is holding the team hostage.
Yes.
Or first round to be quarterback, Alabama QB Ty Simpson. Who would you go with here?
I would take Ty Simpson at this point, just because I am sick of it.
All right.
I think
you would risk overdrafting Ty Simpson, who some think could be great, but a lot think could be overdrafted in the first round. But if you want him, you got to take him in the first round.
That's true. Yeah.
So you would rather have Simpson?
I would.
Just to end the saga?
Just to end it, yeah, because I'm sick of it.
Okay. I'm probably on the opposite side here.
Okay.
Of you.
You're going to just stay with him, huh?
I'm going to stay with him. I realize that it's super inconvenient. It's a huge faux pas to do this year after year, to make your decision, like LeBron James, the big decision when he went to Miami. Like, everyone's asking about you. Everyone's wondering about you. And I think he kind of likes that. He kind of plays off that he's not really into the media obsession and being a media darling, but I think he likes being talked about deep down. I think he likes being in press circles and wondering what he's going to do. Why else does he do this?
I think
what's
he's
the other
selfish,
reason?
though, because your team, the draft starts tomorrow.
Yes.
Your team kind of needs to know, what are you going to do?
Yes.
So that they have a plan for draft day and what they should do. Because what if he decides, hey, I'm not going to come back, and they don't draft Ty Simpson or a quarterback?
Yeah.
Now what do they do? Now they're scrambling again last minute like they were last season.
Now they're left in the lurch.
Yeah.
Now they're in a bad spot.
Exactly.
So if they don't draft Simpson and Rodgers decides that the ayahuasca is too strong today and he wants to stay out this season, that puts them in a literal horrific spot.
Exactly.
Like, honestly, like as bad as it can get. Because then you're looking at Mason Rudolph being your starter.
Right.
Rudy, who hasn't started since he was hit over the head by Myles Garrett with the helmet.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's been a while
It's
for
been a minute.
Rudy. So,
Yeah.
but me, I mean, I'd probably just give him one more year. And I am kind of at his mercy, and that does make me a little perturbed, I would say. But he is the best available prospect for your team. He already knows the system. Or, well, he's worked with Mike McCarthy. I know Tomlin's moved on, but he's worked with Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. They have familiarity.
Yeah.
He obviously can still play a little bit. He's not mobile anymore. He's a statue back there, I understand. But he can still sling the rock a little bit, and I think I like him.
He was decent, last year.
And I think this quarterback draft, besides Mendoza, is hot garbage. I mean, next year's draft, you're going to have a ton of studs. Whatever you think about Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Julian Sayin from Ohio State.
Whatever you think about Arch Manning.
Don't get me started.
Okay.
Nico, however you say his last name.
Lava or something.
I stole a bunch of money from Tennessee and left.
Yeah.
But he'll be out. There's quite a few. Dante Moore from Oregon presumably will be out.
Yeah.
So I think the Steelers draft a quarterback next year, and they put a Band-Aid on one more year with Aaron Rodgers. That's be what I do. But you're on the opposite side, and that's what makes this game great. All right, let's go to the next one here. Better game 3 or better environment for the fans. Game 3 at the Delta Center for the Utah Mammoth, or Game 5 in Buffalo with presumably the series tied. We'll say it's 2-2 theoretically.
Okay. That's not really a fair comparison.
Okay.
Because you're looking at Game 5 tied.
Yeah.
So this could, whoever wins this one.
We're looking at Game 3 tied, though.
Yeah, but you still, even if it's tied, Game 3, you still have several more games. You'll still have Game 4 at the Delta Center and then go back and forth.
Back, yeah.
So
you're right.
And like you said, Buffalo hasn't been there in how long?
15 years.
15 years. So I think, as much as I love the Delta Center, and I think Game 3, like their first ever playoff game in the Delta Center, it is going to be insane. But Game 5, tied series, going out to Buffalo, it's going to be, like you said, it's going to hit the Richter scale.
Yes. They had an amazing video from Buffalo. The people were waiting like 3 hours before the game to get in. And the moment when the ushers emerged from the side to like
to
scan
open
tickets,
the gates.
like once they started moving towards their little gates and stuff like that to start checking tickets, the crowd erupted. It was like a goal was just scored. They were so excited to get in. They were stacked up, thousands of people there 3 hours before puck drop just to be in the building. So I think it matters a lot to them. I'm going to go with Game 5 in Buffalo as well. Not a slight at Utah. I think they're going to do great. I think the fans are going to have their towels going.
Yeah.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be a fun environment. But Buffalo, it's been 15 years in the making. So I'm going to go with the Sabres and KeyBank Arena. All right, let's go to the next one here. This one's got two of your guys, Mason Miller.
Yes.
Or Paul Skeens.
Oh, that's mean.
For NL Cy Young.
Why would you do that?
Yes.
Okay, but I do have to go with Mason Miller.
Okay.
He has been absolutely just insane.
Yes.
So he has thrown, I'm trying to find the stat, 35, I believe, 100 mile per, plus pitches.
Yes.
More than 35 pitches at 100 plus miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's more than all other pitchers combined.
Yeah.
So he is regularly hitting 101 to 103.
Yeah.
That's just his baseline. And most players can't even reach that. That's just kind of like a high point, right?
Yes.
And not only that, but he's played 8.1 innings pitched, and he's had 20 strikeouts.
Yeah.
He's only allowed one hit all season and one walk. And so, basically right now, I am so high on my Padres.
Yeah.
They don't, the batters just don't stand a chance against Mason. He is an elite closer, and he definitely deserves the Cy Young.
He'd be the first closer since 2003 when Eric Gagne won the award to take home the Cy Young as a closer.
Yeah.
Underdog tweeted this out. Mason Miller this season, 30 batters faced. This was on April 16th, so a couple days ago.
Okay.
But 30 batters faced, 31 balls thrown, 23 strikeouts. Hasn't allowed a run in how many days? Take a guess.
he's only allowed one run like
Hasn't
all
allowed
season.
Hasn't allowed
But
a run.
I know. So it's been, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go back to the games. I didn't watch much while I was gone on vacation.
Well, Underdog said he hasn't allowed a run in 254 days.
254 days.
Earned run.
Earned runs.
So
Yeah.
he might have inherited that run that he allowed, but
Yeah.
he has not allowed an earned run in 254 days.
That's
But
pretty incredible.
I'm going to go, and he's gaining the nickname the Reaper. I like that.
Uh-huh.
That's starting to become a thing, right?
His walkout song is Corn.
Yes. You showed me that like a week ago or so.
It's so great.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I always loved Mariano Rivera's Enter Sandman. That was iconic. The Diaz guy for the Mets had that trumpet thing a couple years ago.
The Timmy trumpet.
Yeah, there's always been some good, closer intros, but I feel like the Corn
This one
is pretty strong for the nickname the Reaper, Mason Miller. So, but I'm gonna do a curveball on you here.
Oh, really?
The
Skeens.
starter. And he's just going to get better as the season goes on.
And I love Skeens. You know this.
I pitted two of your favorites
You
against
did.
each
That's
other.
not very nice.
It's not meant to be nice. It's meant to be captivating.
Captivating. Yeah.
We needed that for the people. All right, here we go. Let's on to the next one here. As this is one for you as well.
Wait, you don't want to have any stats on Skeens why he deserves it more?
I'm going to say he's going to get better as the season goes on. He had a rough outing
that's
against.
your stat.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes. Yes. All right. Let's go to the next one here. How about this? The Florida Keys or Hawaii?
That's hard because they're two very different places. Both are gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love them both. What I love about the Keys, though, is, you still have the nice warm water. It's beautiful water. But it's cool because you can go out in a boat and there's just sandbars everywhere. And so you can just go park your boat on a sandbar, throw your chairs out, literally just put your toes in the sand and hang out on the sandbar all day. Take your coolers on your boat, your drinks, your food, everything, and just kind of hang out. The fish come up and are swimming all around you. And
wow.
So it's a very relaxing, But Hawaii's beautiful, but you don't have that as much, where you can just go kind of sit out, unless you're just right on the beach. But then in the Keys, though, because you're on the Gulf, so there isn't a lot of waves. So there's no surfing, which I do love surfing. So Hawaii, if you want to go out and surf and do that kind of stuff, like whale watching, all of that, Hawaii is your place. If you want to go out and just kind of relax on a sandbar, maybe see some hammerhead sharks, a bunch of other fish and reef wildlife, then Key West is your spot.
All right. She gives you the detailed breakdown there.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the Keys, so I got to go Hawaii by default here. Really enjoyed it. It was probably about 10, 15-ish years now, probably for me, that I've been to Hawaii. But it was really cool. I really enjoyed
beautiful.
it. It's the Maui, the Oahu, totally different. We went to two islands, and they definitely have totally different kind of feels to them. One more of a city vibe, and the Maui more of a desolate oasis type look. So I think Hawaii's got a little of everything for depending on the island you go to. So I think Hawaii would be my choice. Even not seeing the Keys, I know it's awesome down there, but I'd probably go Hawaii.
You don't like the gators and the manatees?
I like manatees. I'm not a big gator guy.
Not a big gator guy,
no,
huh? Okay.
Not really. All right, let's go to the last one. This is another one for you. I've kind of tailor-made this would you rather for you here. Super Bowl for the Raiders or Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals for the Kraken. Put you right on the spot.
This might surprise you, but this is actually kind of an easy one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a Super Bowl for the Raiders would be amazing.
I know.
But the Stanley Cup for the Kraken.
I expected this. Okay, I'm just checking you're still with us.
There is no other trophy in sports better than the Stanley Cup, in my opinion.
Yes.
It is iconic. It is amazing. And if the Kraken do win, I get to drink from that Stanley Cup.
There you go.
I get to drink from Sir Stanley. So I would take hoisting that cup and drinking out of it any day over than just going and watching the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Even though, like I said, the Super Bowl would be epic.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a different
type of hit for you as far as what that one does, the Stanley Cup for you.
Very few people have had that opportunity to even touch the Stanley Cup, let alone, drink out of it. So.
That's right. Absolutely. All right, that'll bring us to the end of Would You Rather here on The Drive, and it is brought to you today by Game Day Men's Health. Book your appointment at Game Day Men's Health. and enjoy the night without worrying about it. For a free T-test to reclaim your game, call 435-265-4223. Also brought to you by One Health St. George. They aren't just a clinic, they're your medical home, helping individuals and families stay healthy year after year. One Health Dixie Primary Care. All right, we're going to take the quick break. Be back with the Region 9 recap from last night. As we had quite a few games going in Region 9 baseball, we'll tackle that right after this quick break. Great song choice. I like this one here. Zach Brown Band bringing us in. And today's show is brought to you by a number of great partners, including Coral Canyon Golf Course, Zag, One Health, Summit, and, of course, Prime IV. PrimeIVSTG.com to book an appointment. And they've got a lot of stuff going on over there as May is coming up, right?
Yeah.
And May is the month of the mothers, right?
It is, yeah.
So celebrate May next month with the Beauty Bundle, the Glow IV therapy treatment, the high-dose glutathione Beauty Boost upgrade, access to the members-only VIP lounge, and zero-gravity chairs. They've also got a $15 savings on vitamin D injections, a $50 savings on the Glow injections. So if you are looking to get an IV anytime soon, check out Prime IV, PrimeIVSTG.com to book an appointment or call 435-522-5005. All right. And we had a pretty big day locally as well yesterday. We kind of tackled the Knights, did a potpourri of topics with Would You Rather, but wanted to jump into Utah Tech women's basketball's newest head man, Mr. Adam Wardenberg. He had a presser yesterday at the Hyde Lounge in the Clyde Lounge. I'm sorry. It's Hyde Lounge in T-Mobile Arena. Clyde Lounge at Utah Tech on the 4th floor there at the Greater Zion Stadium, as a good amount of people made their way out to this. Me and Devin, Eric Gould from St. George News were all on hand to meet Coach, get to know him. Seems like a great guy. He's got roots that span years and years and years at Utah. His last stop was at the Air Force Academy.
That's impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Takes a special
That
breed
is
of
an
athlete.
elite. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And in coaching those athletes he was talking about, his height disparity with teams he played. And he'd be like, most of my girls are under, 5'10".
Right.
And, most girls that I'll be getting at Utah Tech going to be a little, athletic,
right around that age,
athletic
height.
profile, a little more similar. So he's
Yeah.
kind of used to the level of athlete and the players he's going to be recruiting at Utah Tech. And he thinks he's going to smash it out of the park. So we got a couple clips from him here, as Adam is a guy that he's a family man. He brought his entire family, his wife, and 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. And how about this? Steve Johnson made the comment, or Ken Beazer, one or the other. I think it was Ken Beazer actually said he was made for Utah Tech with a son named Brooks, like Brooks the Bison.
Okay.
You know, so it fits.
That does fit.
Let's start with the first one here, talking about the brand of basketball Coach Wardenberg is going to bring to Trailblazer Nation. This was from the introductory press conference yesterday.
I'm going to pour my heart and soul into them, make them as good of a basketball players as they've ever been. Make them believe in themselves more than they've ever believed in themselves before. We're going to have a championship culture, and we might not win the Big Sky Championship every single year, but we're going to be right there. And I'm going to pour my heart.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. And he's just really, really complimentary of all the coaches that he had worked under. Actually, one of his former bosses was there at the introductory press conference. Blanking on his name right now, but he coached at Oral Roberts, Utah State. He worked with Coach Wardenberg for a lot of years, and it was really cool to see a guy that he worked with and worked under coming to support his former protege who's getting his first head coaching job in college basketball. So another one here from Coach Adam Wardenberg yesterday at the introductory press conference was his plan to build a championship roster in Utah Tech.
We're going to play a fun brand of basketball, and we're going to play hard defensively. We're going to communicate. We're going to fly around, and offensively, we're going to shoot a lot. And our players, they know, I've said it to all of them, skill development every single day. We're going to finish at the basket. We're going to shoot our shots when we're open, and we're going to play together. But again, couldn't be more thrilled about this. I'm so excited for this opportunity.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
As he really does sound like this is the job for him.
Yeah.
As he was a hot commodity, I'd assume, they were asking him, how long does it take from being offered the job to taking the job? And he said it was pretty fast process,
good.
And Ken Beazer talked about the process of hiring a head coach at the start of the presser. And it's a frantic process. Once the season ends, everyone's a free agent in the coaching world. If another school wants you, they'll come after you. And he was an assistant at Air Force and doing a great job, obviously, as Air Force went to the women's NIT back-to-back years. He's a part of that. And, this is a great hire for Utah Tech. I think so. J.D. Gustin, the last couple of years, the bottom kind of fell out as far as the wins and losses go. He wasn't really getting the level of play desired. And I think Coach Wardenberg going to bring a new perspective. He kept saying blank canvas during the introductory press conference. He said, we have 3 players on the roster right now. The portal is closing.
Right.
I obviously need to add players. I need to build out this roster. But one thing's going to be a constant. They're going to be hard workers. They're going to want to love Utah Tech, to play for this community. He really, really got me as someone who I don't really normally say that there's a winner in a press conference. Sometimes you can have the cool hire, the sexy hire where you got a big name and he comes in and dominates the presser, says a bunch of great stuff, and then wins 5 games. But this one, I believe in. I believe in Coach Wardenberg. What he was saying kind of resonated. It kind of felt like, he cares. He wants to win here. He wants to build a championship culture here.
Right.
And he's going to do everything he can to do that. I feel like Utah Tech got the right guy with Adam Wardenberg.
Yeah.
So
speaking of portals.
Yeah, well, speaking of portals, Rob Wright. Let's go into this as well as while we're on college basketball and coming up on the end of the hour here. Rob Wright was one of the more talked about guys as far as where is he going to go? Is it going to be BYU? Is it going to be Kentucky? Is it going to be another unnamed school with a bigger bag of money for him? As it seemed like it really came down to the money for Rob Wright at the end of the day. But Kentucky, and Jeff Goodman reported a few days ago, the money was the same, basically, from Kentucky and BYU. So he decides to come back to BYU.
I'm happy about this.
And I'm happy about this, too. And Rob was on BYU TV saying exactly why he decided to come back to BYU. I thought this was pretty interesting.
Talks with coaches in BYU, they kind of encouraged me to kind of just enter and see. And then ultimately, I just wanted to play for KY. I didn't think I wanted to play for another coach.
What was it about the BYU experience as a whole? Because Kevin Young is at the center of that, but you said the brotherhood, the feeling, the campus, the fans. What kind of things were going into the whole decision about why BYU is the place for you?
Really, I came here, I was a transfer student, and they really just embraced me. So I was just super appreciative of that. And it was really a big thought going through my mind. I didn't know if I wanted to go to a new place and experience something else when I had a great year here on and off the court.
First statement, the coaching staff told me to go in the portal. Yeah. I did not think
that. Which was shocking. You're right.
You obviously want to keep him.
Yeah,
you want him back on the team.
You don't want him to leave.
I mean, and the only outcome that comes from him going in there is finding something potentially better. Why would you encourage him? That's kind of interesting. But it shows.
I love that. It shows that they're not selfish. They are thinking the players first. What's going to be best for them.
Yeah.
And so encouraging them, go see. Maybe you can get a better offer and a better team, go play somewhere else. We'd love that for you.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's not a selfish approach. It's, players first. What's going to be best for them?
I like it too. It's just surprising.
It is surprising.
Surprises me that you're, all Big 12 point guard, you're just saying, hey, go out and see what you're worth.
Yeah.
I would have not expected that, but wow, that is very candid from Rob Wright there. Also spoke about Kevin Young. That's obviously, he is a hell of a recruiter. AJ, Bruce Branch, now Rob Wright, the most coveted portal commit.
Yeah.
Kevin Young is doing something when it comes to
right.
off the court recruiting. I mean, his in-game adjustments. I mean, we've kind of been critical of him as in some games, not getting the team ready in the first half, always playing from behind.
Yeah.
But there is one thing this dude does really well, and it's bring in talent.
Right.
He brings in a lot of talent to Provo. The most I've ever seen since I've lived in Utah. Pope did a great job for most of his tenure at BYU, but the teams were not loaded with 5 stars, high
No.
4 stars. You've got this Cannon Catchings kid transferring out to Georgia. He was a stud for Georgia. You got Xavier Staten, the 4-star guy. You're running off guys because there's not enough playing time to go around.
Right.
So it's like, wow, BYU has become a recruiting monster, and Kevin Young is at the front of it. And keeping Rob Wright, the latest sign that this dude knows how to communicate. He is a people person. He's a player's coach. He obviously resonates and connects with the guys.
Right.
So to bring back Rob Wright, when I'm sure he could have gotten more money than BYU offered him. Maybe not from Kentucky,
Right.
but it could have been from Kansas or North Carolina. I'm sure if he opened up his recruiting and didn't have the do not contact tag.
He didn't have that.
He didn't have the do not contact.
He didn't have the do not
I'm
contact.
just kidding. A lot of guys do, though.
A lot of guys do, but he wasn't one of them.
He wasn't. I always thought that's a funny thing. The do not contact.
I don't
tag.
understand that,
But
yeah.
Anyways, Rob Wright back at BYU for another season. And he did say after the loss to Texas in the tournament, if I'm in college, I will be in a BYU jersey. He said that to Greg Wrubell of BYU TV. And it turns out he's a man of his word.
He is a
He's
man of his
back.
word.
He's back suiting up for the Cougars for another season. All right. That's going to pretty much bring us to the end of hour 1 here, as it's been a fun first hour. Really did a lot on the Utah Mammoth Vegas Golden Knights first round series game 2 as the Mammoth take the W. We got into Would You Rather, a bunch of different topics. We also just tackled the newest head coach at Utah Tech, the women's basketball coach Adam Wardenberg, hired as of yesterday. Presser was yesterday. We played a couple quotes from that. All right. Let's get some of these sponsors taken care of here on the drive, as we would not have a show without them. It's today's show brought to you by Wilkinson's House of Lighting and Decor, recognized for the 5th year in a row as the best lighting store in Southern Utah. Proud sponsor of Region 9 Athletics. They've got the lamp room dedicated to lamps, from simple to exquisite. Shop where the locals shop. Wilkinson's, light it up. As well as our Jimmy John's highlight of the week. Submit your home videos at thefansportsnetwork.com. If we choose your video, you get a $100 gift card to Jimmy John's. How about that? Pretty good deal for shooting local highlights and getting some of the best ones out here. And we will find, our goal is to find the best highlight every single week. And lastly, wrapping up the hour is brought to you by One Health St. George. Meet Carl Turner, board certified in family medicine, known for his compassion, expertise, and maybe even a few balloon animals. We're going to grab the quick break. Be back right after this. Back live here from the Finlay Hyundai Studios, grooving along with a Sound of Silence remix that I've
By Disturbed.
I've never heard
it's
that
epic.
one.
It's so
Okay,
good.
with the little beat in the background.
Oh,
I
his
like
voice
that.
is amazing too.
It is great. All right, so we're going to get into the top 8 at 8 today, brought to you by TDS. They are our local scores and sponsor. Check them out at hellotds.com. All right, let's get into it. All right, we've tackled quite a bit of topics over the first hour, but in the top 8 at 8, going to get some of the things we missed. Let's go to the NBA last night as 3 games were in action as the 76ers even the series with the Celtics with their 111-97 win on the road in Beantown in game 2. VJ Edgecombe, the rookie, had 30 points. A lot of people wondering, I wish we got him instead of Ace. I'm here to tell you, Ace will be good, but VJ Edgecombe really good already as the 76ers beat the Celtics by 14 points on the road. Next one in the NBA was the Portland Trailblazers taking down the Spurs. How about that? 106-103. The Trailblazers find a way to get it done. And this is one of the more upstart young teams that I really like. Denny Advia, Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson had 31 points last night in the Trailblazers' big W over the Spurs. And lastly, in the NBA last night, to take a 2-0 series lead, the Los Angeles Lakers, powered by LeBron and Luka, find a way to get another win over Kevin Durant and the Rockets as LeBron James had played a nice game. 28 points, 2 of 5 from three-point range, 8 of 20 from the field, and 10 of 14 from free throw land. So pretty good game for LeBron, and the Lakers continue to power past the Rockets, taking a 2-0 series lead last night. Let's go to story number 2.
All right, let's go to our Region 9 baseball. Last night, Desert Hills was at Cedar City. The Reds, they had been red hot, but last night they fell 15-4.
Ooh.
Yeah, not a good game there for them. Also, we had Crimson Cliffs at Snow Canyon. Crimson falling to the Warriors, 2-3.
I was on hand
So
for that
you were
one.
at that one. Any
Yes, a lot of
insights
stuff
there?
Yeah, Madden Smith and Zach Beck, the pitchers last night, both really pitching great. There wasn't many runs to be scored. I feel like every time I've done a Snow Canyon game, there's been a ton of runs. They're just batting the ball around, but not last night. Madden Smith really kept them under control, but it was a big double by Jagger Magavero late in the game to bring home the winning run for the Warriors. Win by 1 in a really tight game throughout. It was just a pitcher's duel to the maximum degree, but there was some very timely hitting late in the game for the Warriors to propel them to victory, as that was the one we had on the Fan Sports Network live last night on the YouTube page, fansportsnetwork.com. So we will have another game tonight, but we got one more from last night, right?
The last one from last night was Dixie at Pineview. Dixie falling to the Panthers 2-3. Another close game as well for them. Not a lot of runs scored.
That's right. It's been quite a hectic little sequence here, with the run, not getting enough runs. It's been, the offense needs to come, and it needs to come soon for Dixie. They definitely need to pick up Chunner Nyberg doing a great job as the manager. But sometimes when the runs aren't coming, it's really hard to win in baseball, no matter how good your pitchers are.
Right.
They could be throwing, complete games, but if you're not getting the hitting and the timely hitting, it can be a struggle for you, as Dixie's kind of experiencing that right now. So it should be fun. We will have another Boulevard home game of the week tonight. It'll be me and Caden Formaster Terra on the production. Should be a fun night. So looking forward to it in Region 9 baseball. All right, story number 3 here today as we move along in the top 8 at 8. Wanted to go back to the NBA real quick there, as last night, one of the young stars in the league, probably a big reason the Spurs lost, is because Victor Wembanyama sustained a concussion on a hard fall during the second quarter of Tuesday night's Game 2 playoff loss to the Portland Trailblazers. He played just 12 minutes. That's probably a big reason they lost.
And if he's in concussion protocol, right? How many games is it? 5 days?
Wembanyama played 12 minutes before being placed in concussion protocol and ruled out for the game. Asked if it's anything beyond a concussion, he said no. But under the NBA's concussion protocol, which you were asking about, a player cannot return to full participation for 48 hours after the time of the injury, but can resume gradual activity after 24 hours as long as symptoms don't worsen.
Okay.
So, most likely probably back for the next game. I would think that they're going to find a way to get him back. So, let's go to story number 4.
All right, let's just recap the NHL playoffs last night. As we already talked about, the Lightning beat the Canadiens 3-2 last night in final overtime. The Mammoth beating the Knights in regulation 3-2. Sabres and Bruins. This is a heated rivalry as well.
Yes.
And the Bruins tied it up. Game 1, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
But they were down, I think, 2-0.
Yeah.
And Sabres ended up coming back and winning Game 1. However, Boston did defeat the Sabres last night 4-2.
All right.
So that series is tied up. Kings and Avalanche also played last night. And the Avs are just, what are we going to do with them?
They're good.
They're leading the series 2-0. Yeah. Beat the Kings again last night 2-1.
They were on the ropes in Game 1. They only won 2-1. So and the
again
Kings
only won 2-1. So the Kings are fighting.
The Kings are definitely fighting.
Yeah.
But they have
haven't been able to put away the Avs yet.
Enough. The 1 through 4 lines of the Avalanche probably as stacked as any team in the league, and in recent memory. I know President's Trophy winners normally don't go deep, don't win the cup.
It's usually a bad omen, right?
It is, but it could be just a generational team this year for the Avalanche. All right, let's go to the next headline. This one in the NFL. This has been a much talked about story, but Mike Vrabel he did end up showing up for his pre-draft presser. There was speculation that he wouldn't. He said the New England Patriots and their fans will get the, quote, best version of me going forward after the New York Post published photos that appeared to show the coach embracing and holding hands with former athletic reporter Diana Rossini. Vrabel shared no details about what he called a private and personal matter, quote unquote, or his relationship with Rossini, and the photos of the pair spending time together at an adults-only hotel in Arizona. He said he had conversations that were positive and productive with Patriots players when they reported for voluntary workouts Monday. Nice. So I think this pretty much puts that story to bed. Rossini resigned. Vrabel's addressed it. I think it's time we move past this, most likely. So a dark time for both of those people, but they've got to handle it in the best way they can. All right, story number 6 here. Mike Tomlin. I kind of called this one. I thought this would happen. I thought he'd get into TV, and Mike Tomlin is indeed getting into TV. For the first time in 2 decades, Mike Tomlin won't be on an NFL sideline this fall, but still be involved in the game. Known for his one-of-a-kind personality, he will be in the studio instead. The former Steelers head coach is joining NBC's Sunday night pregame show, Football Night in America, as a studio analyst. Sources confirmed to ESPN on Tuesday. Wow. Okay. Pretty fresh face on the pregame show for Football Night in America. Tomlin, I've always liked him. I think he'll be a pretty good TV personality. I think he's got some good opinions and things to say. So he will be the newest member of NBC's Football Night in America. All right. We're down to story number 7 here on the top 8 at 8. How about this one? Real Salt Lake. They have a very special visitor. Messi, Leo Messi, making his way Inter Miami, is supposed to go to Real Salt Lake. I think it was either last night or a couple nights ago in soccer. And I think this is probably the biggest storyline that's come to Real Salt Lake. I know Devin was just at their game. They won. They scored four goals. I think it was a frenzy of goals. They're off to a 4-0-1 start. but they have probably the game's biggest star in the MLS coming to Utah.
That is pretty
being
cool.
as how Messi is an international, stud.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
Everybody knows him. So soccer, Devin reminded me yesterday, soccer, the world's game, you
Right.
know, not America's game per se, but the world's game. And Messi, probably the most popular athlete
Yeah.
in the world's game. So by in turn, I think he is the most popular athlete just by sheer numbers of people. So that's a pretty big storyline. He'll be coming to Utah. All right. And last story on the top 8 at 8 today. I don't know if you consider this a sport or not, but last weekend it made the traffic scene in Vegas a little hectic. But WWE's WrestleMania
Oh, no.
was in Las Vegas, and the WrestleMania 42 as Roman Reigns is champion once again. I don't know if you know who that is. I know who
No.
that is. Roman Reigns used to play for Georgia Tech football. He
Oh,
was a
really?
former football player.
Now he's in the WWE.
Now
huh?
he's in the WWE,
Wow.
much like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He played at Miami for the Hurricanes back in the day, and
Okay.
Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar played for the Vikings.
Yeah.
So a lot of WWE crossover with the NFL, you know?
It's like the opposite, 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward.
Yeah. Next is cage fights in your local bar.
Right, yeah, right.
All right. So, anyways, WrestleMania 42. If anyone was there, it must have been fun. I know it's an entertainment thing.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a big viewer of wrestling. I don't really
Me
get
either.
into it. I think it's fake. You know, you see the tables collapse like a piece of paper that's wet and stuff. But
Yeah.
it still is entertainment to a large faction of America, as it was one of the most viewed WrestleManias in
Wow.
recent memory. So good
Nice.
for WrestleMania and the WWE.
Yeah.
All right, that is story number 8, and it's going to wrap us up on
Wait,
the top 8.
can I do one bonus ball?
Oh, yeah, bonus balls. We love bonus balls.
All right,
Fire away.
my boy, Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, yes. We had
The
this.
Heisman Trophy winner
Yes.
and national champion threw out the first pitch for the Marlins game last night.
All right, let's grade
and,
the pitch.
it was
Let's grade
That's
the
a
pitch.
good idea. Here we go.
All right. I've seen some horrible ones. So
Winner,
let's
the
see.
national champion,
There he is.
pride of Christopher Columbus High School. Fernando Mendoza throwing out the first pitch to Kyle Stowers
Okay.
here tonight.
It got there. So
Hey, yeah, it crossed the plate.
So-
here in the house tonight.
I want to go, now that we're on this topic, I want to go to probably the worst one I've ever seen.
There's been
before.
some bad ones.
There's been some terrible ones, I understand. And there's been some notable like superstars like in whatever it be, music, athletics, other sports
Wasn't
than baseball.
Obama's like horrible?
Yes. GW, George W. Bush
His was
after
bad.
9/11. No, his
Maybe-
was great.
Oh, his was great.
After
Okay,
9/11, he went to the Yankee Stadium
Yeah.
and was wearing the FDNY.
Oh, okay.
Like a sweatshirt or
Yeah.
jacket, and he threw a laser right
Nice.
down the middle. It was one of the best pitches I've ever seen by someone who's not a baseball player. And my Twitter again not being my friend today, but I was gonna find a couple of them and try and pin them for you.
Some
but,
of the worst ones.
Yes,
Eh.
but Mendoza's not among the worst. If we were to grade that, it was a little bit of a football throw.
Because he plays football. Come on. He's not. It's not like he's,
Thanks,
like,
Captain Obvious.
He's not
I know
a
he plays
sidewinder.
football.
He's not going to, like, throw one over the plate like a pitcher. But
Does he play football? I
He
didn't know
does.
that. Sorry.
yeah, fun fact. He actually plays college football, and he might be the #1 draft pick overall to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow, you've enlightened me. Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Tara. I can
Yeah,
always
that's what
count
I'm
on
here for.
you. You
That's what
are
I'm
here
here
for
for.
that. And to keep me in line, as he told you earlier in
Right.
the pre-draft or the pre-show text.
Yeah.
All right. That'll bring us to the end of the top 8 at 8 today. It's brought to you in part by a great number of local partners. Wilkinson's House of Lighting and Decor, recognized for the 5th year in a row. Best lighting store in southern Utah. Proud sponsor of Region 9 Athletics. Light it up at Wilkinson's, as well as brought to you by Prime IV, PrimeIVSTG.com to book an appointment. Are your allergies hitting hard this season? You know, the constant sneezing, itchy eyes, congestion. Are you just feeling completely drained, you know, for that matter? It's just annoying. It can really throw off your energy, your focus, your whole day. What if instead of just masking the symptoms, you support your body from the inside out? And that's where Prime IV Hydration and Wellness comes in. They've got a great spring special right now with the Allergy Buster. You can add it to any IV for just $69. It comes with a triple dose of vitamin C plus a vitamin D injection to help support your immune system during allergy season. All right, we're going to bring us to the break here. We are going to come back with some draft day over-unders as the draft is tomorrow. Let's get excited about this.
I'm excited about it. I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely. You should be.
I am
You got
gonna
the
be
number
watching.
one pick. You got another high pick in the second round.
Yep.
It's going to be a great draft day for the Raiders, for the Redskins, or the Commanders, I should say.
Yeah.
Have the 7th pick. I'll be excited too. And everyone loves the NFL draft. We're going to do some draft day over-unders right after this break. Hey, how we doing out there? Hope everyone's enjoying their morning. Thanks for listening to the Fan Sports Network on 99.5, 95.3 FM on the dial. If you got the HD channels, like Double D's got, he always talks about the audio quality much better on the HD channels. And we are riding along on the drive, and we are a day away. I said it earlier. It's kind of like a really weird time in the sports calendar where you got the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the NFL draft, MLB. All four major sports are technically in action this week. I know there's no games being played in the NFL.
Right.
But they still got a massive event in Pittsburgh.
I wish I was there.
Yes.
I love Pittsburgh.
That's right. The city of bridges, more than Venice. We've been over this.
Yes,
and it is a beautiful city, and I think it's going to be a great draft day location. It should be a great crowd. The Steelers have the most picks in the draft with 12. So a lot of black and gold and terrible towels going to be swinging and flying out there. But we wanted to go over some of the top prospects, not really the blue chippers, like the top 3 picks. We did that last show, Jeremiah Love, Arvell Reese, some of those top guys, David Bailey.
Yeah.
But today we're going to go a little down the list, just a tad. But we've got a few ranging players. We got 5 players here. And we are going to see what we think as far as over under their book set draft position by the sports book. This one is from DraftKings Sportsbook, and they have listed the 5 targets I've got here. We're going to start with probably the biggest blue chip of the 5. This is wide receiver from the Ohio State University, Carnell Tate. His over-under is set at 7.5. 7.5. So really, the question is, does he fall past the Commanders at 7? Does he go 8 or more, or does he stay within the 7? I think he's going to fall. I think Carnell Tate, not your typical number 1 in the draft receiver. He's not a Calvin Johnson or a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson or even a CeeDee Lamb. He is not that player. So I see him falling a little bit to the Giants at 10. I think the Giants are not going to draft him at 5. They know they can get him later with their 10th pick. I think he is going to fall to number 10. 3.5 slots outside of 7.5. So I'm going to go over the 7.5. What do you got on this one?
I'm going to go under.
Okay.
I could see him going number 7 to your Commanders.
Yes.
They need some pieces to help get this offense back on track.
Yep.
And this guy can do that, Carnell Tate. So I'm going to go under. I could see the Commanders taking him at 7.
Okay. So you're going to go under. I'm going to go over on Tate. Yeah, the Commanders are the interesting one there. Do they want to add a piece to help their young quarterback on a rookie contract where they can still kind of pay for defensive players and build the defense through free agency? Do they add a cheap, controllable asset in the receiving corps? That's the question. I'm going to say no to Tate. You're going to say yes.
I am going to say yes.
So you're going to say the Commanders are the team that picks him at 7.
At 7.
So you think he goes a half pick earlier than he's supposed to?
So so I'm going with the under.
All right, I like the under on that for you, but not for me.
Okay.
I'm going to go over for Carnell Tate. I think he goes number 10 to the New York Giants.
Okay.
All right, let's go to another receiver here. We got 3 receivers in this one. As receivers, kind of the flashy flair position. A lot of fans want to see their teams take a receiver.
Yeah.
One of the most talked about guys because of his injuries is wide receiver from Arizona State, Jordan Tyson.
Okay.
Over under for him, he is surging up boards. He was in the teens, 20s, but after that private workout he did for, I believe, 19 NFL teams, his over under is set at 8.5.
Oh. I'm still going to take the over.
Oh.
Like you said, he did have a great workout, and so I think that proves that the injury isn't a problem or a worry.
Yeah.
But I still think he's going to go, like around 10. I think
maybe the Giants at 10.
Yeah, you're right.
Tate's
the Giants have 10. And so I think he'd be a great fit for the Giants. So I am going to take the over. I think he does go 10.
Okay. So
at
you're
least.
over on Tyson.
Yeah.
I'm over on Tyson too. I think he ends up somewhere in the 10 to 12 range. I think the Giants might take a stab at him at 10.
Yeah.
If not, I think he doesn't fall much farther than 10. So, but he does go over the 8.5.
8.5,
So
yeah.
we're both in sync on that one. All right, let's go to the next one here. This one's a local boy. How about this? Spencer Fano, offensive tackle for Utah. Over under 10.5 is his draft positioning.
You go first on
I'm
this
going to
one.
go first on this one. That's fine. I'm going to go over for Fano.
Really?
Yes. I think he's not. He was the top tackle, I think, talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
But now Francis Mauigoa of the Miami Hurricanes is kind of taking that top tackle spot away from Fano. So I think Francis will be drafted top 10. Fano will be drafted just outside the top 10, maybe 14, 15. I think he falls a little bit. The game against David Bailey going to be a highlight tape a lot of teams look at. The Texas Tech Utah game where Fano was not at his best.
Right.
And you got to look at lowlights just as much as you look at highlights for these prospects. So I think he falls. And Francis Mauigoa obviously going all the way to the national championship game, providing great protection for Carson Beck. We'll get into Carson Beck in a second. But yes, I'm going to go over for Fano. I think he goes 11 or later.
This is a hard one. Because I think I'm gonna take the under.
Okay.
But
Top 10 pick.
there is a lot riding on this because Cleveland Browns have number 6.
Yes.
And so if some of those edge rushers are taken, then I think they could really use Fano. And so I could see them, but like I said, it depends on what else is left on the board once they get to that number 6 pick.
Well,
and
you're
if they pass on him.
Terradamus. You set the board. You see what's out there. Do
I
you
don't
see
know.
him going in the top 10?
Like I said, this one's really hard. I do. I think I see him going top 10. I'm going to go under.
All right. The Utah boy, you boys fly high. Tara's got you covered. She's going under for Spencer Fano. I'm going over. I think he does go outside the top 10. All right, this one much talked about for the injuries. It's similar to Jordan Tyson, a little more severe injury for Tennessee cornerback Jermod McCoy,
My boy.
one of the top corners. A lot of people think he'd be the number 1 corner before the injuries. Right now, Mansour Delane from LSU takes that top available corner spot, but Jermod McCoy slated at 28.5 at the very end of the first round. He did do a pro day, and he ran. Can you guess the 40 time this guy ran after coming off a devastating
fast.
injury? He's super fast.
I'm going to say 4.2.
4.36.
4.36.
And he had a 2025 ACL injury.
Yeah.
He had just recovered from that.
Right.
So probably even faster than the 4.36, to be honest with you.
Right, once he's fully recovered.
That's right. And he had a 38-inch vertical, 10.7 broad jump. This guy's a freak athlete, a great cover corner. I'm going to go under the 28.5. I think someone takes a risk on this guy, a la Will Johnson, like the Cardinals took a risk out of Michigan last year. I think that McCoy just too tantalizing of a talent.
I think so too.
Just so physically gifted. Played at a great SEC program. It just all adds up for me. I think I'm going to go under the 28.5.
Right. Yeah, I'm a huge McCoy fan, so I'm going to go under as well. He, like you said, he's just a freak athlete. And so I think there's going to be teams out there willing to take a risk on him. And I think it's going to pay off. I can't wait to watch him play in the NFL.
It's going to be an interesting story to watch. As you know, you love to see these guys reach their potential, and injuries are kind of a big caveat to guys reaching their potential. But this is an example of a guy that's worked through the rehab, gotten ready for the biggest job interview in his life, which was his pro day where he shined.
Right.
4.36, 38-inch vertical, 10.7. I mean, those are stats of somebody that's not only a freak athlete, but a healthy freak athlete. Really good sign for Tennessee fans that want to see him go high like Tara.
And I think he'll only get better too.
Yes. When he recovers and he's at full strength, he'll just be even better.
Right.
All right, last one on the over-unders, and then I've got one that I want you to select where the player goes. It's going to be a little bit of an opposite one.
Oh.
So Mekhi Lemon is our last over-under. Wide receiver, USC. A lot of people project him as like an Amon-Ra from the Detroit Lions, kind of a smaller, lower to the ground, powerful running receiver with good hands.
Yeah.
His over-under right now, 14.5 for Mekhi Lemon.
Oh.
Little undersized, a
He
little
is
bit of a smaller
5'11".
guy. Yeah.
So for a wide receiver, that's not a big target.
Yeah.
That's more like running back stature.
Yes, it is. Great hands, good speed, though.
Right. No, I'm going to still take the over.
Okay.
I think we see him down more around like 16, 17.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're going over on Lemon.
Yeah.
I'll go under. I think that the receiver market's going to get hot. Tyson, Tate, Lemon, all top 15 picks in my mind. I just think there's a scarcity at the position. There's not a ton of available prospects that you would draft in the first round.
Yeah.
So I think like Ty Simpson, not a lot of quarterbacks push him to the first round. Not a lot of receivers push a lot of these guys up where they probably should go.
Okay.
I think Lemon is the worst of the three we've mentioned today. Tyson, Tate, Lemon. I think Lemon's the third. And not just because the books have him the lowest of the numbers.
No.
I just, from what I've seen, I like Tyson the best.
I do too.
The injury concerns are what they are. But he is the most explosive of the receivers in the first round.
Right.
Then I'd go Tate. Then I'd go Lemon. So,
Same.
But I still believe all three of them will be top 3 or top 15 picks by virtue of the way the draft is this year. There's not a ton of offensive talent. This is more of a defensive draft.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go under just based on need for certain teams. So
Okay.
Kai Lemon, Tara's going over. I'm going under. Let's review what we've got real quick. Jamal McCoy, 28.5. We're both going under for the Tennessee corner. Jordan Tyson, over under 8.5. Tara's going over. I'm going under. Carnell Tate, Tara's going under. I'm going over. Spencer Fano, Tara's going under. I'm going over.
You're keeping track of this, right? So we can like. So
I know you wanna keep
tomorrow we
receipts.
can like
I know,
talk about
I
this.
know.
Yeah.
It's part of your bit.
Or I guess Friday.
It's part of your bit. Keeping track. And last one was Mekhi Lemon. Tara went over.
Yeah.
I went under. All right. So now this one brings me to one of the more intriguing positions in the draft this year is the quarterbacks. And it always is, from the Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams class to the
Right.
Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, that draft. And this draft probably falls, I would say that Kenny Pickett draft, the worst one of the last 5-6 years.
Right.
And that Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May draft, the best
yeah.
of the last maybe 20 years.
Right.
But there are not a lot of quarterbacks in this draft class, to be honest with you. People that Mendoza is the only one most people think will start game one of this rookie year.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a lot of these quarterbacks, developmental pieces. I know you're a big college football fan, so I want to get your take on where some of these guys, a good landing spot might be for some of these quarterbacks, because sometimes it's not as much about how good you are, but it's about how good the fit is.
Right.
Like we saw Zach Wilson, the fit with the New York Jets was terrible. His
horrible.
career went up in flames. But other guys like Geno Smith were drafted to the Jets.
Yeah.
Bounced around for a number of years, found a home in Seattle, and played great. So it just depends on fit sometimes. We saw Sam Darnold had a terrible career for much of his beginning of the infancy of his career. He gets on the Vikings and then moves on to the Seahawks, has a revival, and everything. The rest is history. Super Bowl champs. So sometimes it's about fit is my point. So let's start looking at some of where these quarterbacks not named Mendoza will fall. As I am looking at the odds here for destinations for some of the remaining quarterbacks. We're going to leave Ty Simpson out because he is probably going to go in the first round. So these are quarterbacks that are going to go outside the first round. So let me just use that as a frame of reference for you. All right, let's start with this one.
Okay.
The national championship runner-up at quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes, Mr. Carson Beck. Well-traveled, played at Georgia, played at Miami, 2 of the top programs in the country. Had an amazing year this year and really propelled Miami to the title game. What fit do you see for Carson Beck? What team do you think could use a Carson Beck maybe in the 3rd, 4th round?
There's a couple of teams that come to mind.
All right.
And number one being the Saints.
Okay.
The New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
Tyler, is it Shaw?
Shuck.
Yeah.
The quarterback for the Saints.
Right.
Yeah.
He was the rookie, and he securely positioned himself as the starter.
Yes.
But then their other quarterbacks are Spencer Rattler and Jake Hayner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's not good.
So if you could pick up Carson Beck, like you said, 3rd or 4th round, to bring in as, a backup, I think that would be a good fit, as well as the Rams.
The Rams.
I think the Rams would be a good fit. So Stafford, obviously.
Yeah, towards the end.
Right. And their backups are not good. So I think that, like Jimmy Garoppolo, who's a free agent, we still don't know if he's coming back.
Yeah, he's considering retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So who's your backup then?
True.
So if they could pick him up
valid 3rd
or 4th round,
yeah,
I think Carson Beck would be a great option for the Rams as well.
According to the odds, the Saints are not listed. So the Saints not really a likely destination.
Was a flyer,
but that is a flyer. I like the flyer. The backup quarterback, a very important position in the NFL, no doubt.
And if you're a 3rd or 4th round quarterback, you're backup.
I don't throw that pick away from you. I'm not going to poo-poo that. I think I like that. But your other selection of the Rams is the 5th most likely destination for Carson Beck, according to the books.
Okay, so who's the number 1?
15-1 is the Rams' odds to pick Carson Beck. So the only teams ahead of him, the Eagles.
Oh.
A lot of, Jalen Hurts might need a backup, I guess. I don't really see the Eagles as one. The Cardinals at 4.5-1. Just moved on from Kyler Murray. They're kind of looking to improve the quarterback room and add some prospects. The Jets, 425. We know they need a quarterback. They're rolling with Geno Smith.
I don't wish the Jets on anybody, though. Sorry.
And then the top 2 contenders, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, to land Carson Beck at plus 330, a little more than 3-1. The draft site team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
As we talked about Aaron Rodgers in hour 1, he's kind of left them in limbo. And you said holding them hostage.
Right.
Do they plan for the future and draft a Carson Beck? That's an interesting one.
That would be smart because if Aaron Rodgers does come back, you don't want to take Ty Simpson that you're going to have to pay a lot more money for. So he would be a great option for them as long as Aaron decides to come back,
And Beck most likely by most projections a 3rd, 4th rounder. So, you wouldn't have to invest a high pick, to get this guy.
Exactly.
And the number 1 team to land Carson Beck by the books, they just lost their starter. Whether you like him as a starter or not is another thing. The Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Without Tua.
That would be good.
They have Quinn Ewers. They've got some guys, a few other developmental pieces. But I think Beck could be a legitimate chance to start in Miami. I think there is a real shot for him to be a starter if he's drafted by the Dolphins because they just really don't have it.
They need somebody desperately.
They need somebody bad. All right. Let's go to another one here as we got quite a few different ones. I wanted to do Ty Simpson, but I feel like it's so much up in the air. I don't even think the books have a good gauge. Let's just do Ty Simpson for the fun of it here.
Okay.
All right. Ty Simpson will be drafted by whom?
I don't know.
I've got the contenders. I've got the top 4 teams. If you guess one of the top 4 teams, I owe you breakfast.
Really?
Yes.
Take
a stab.
I know. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
All right. Thinking, computing, loading, buffering.
How about the Vikings?
Ooh, not quite on the. They are number 8, number 8 team. So the number 1 team right now for Ty Simpson is a team I wouldn't expect. and they are minus 200, 2-1 the other way
Really?
to draft him. So this is a favorite to draft Ty Simpson, the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. No, I would not have thrown that out there
Me
at all.
neither. I that was not a guess I would have taken, but the Jets, Rams, Steelers round out the top 4 for Ty
Okay,
Simpson.
Rams, I could see.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the Rams, you kind of hit on that, the last one with Carson
Yeah.
Beck, that they do need a replacement for Matt Stafford.
They do. Yeah.
So they are a very
They need a
viable
backup.
candidate to draft Ty Simpson or Carson Beck or Nussmeier or any of these guys.
Yeah.
Because there needs to be a succession plan. You
Right.
need that in any sport.
Right. And Garoppolo's not it.
No, I think I actually think it's not a rumor. He's actually considering retirement.
Retiring, yeah.
Yes. So the Rams got to move forward with another guy. All right. This is my most intriguing prospect in the entire draft. I
Oh.
think this guy, we went through yesterday on the show when you weren't here, would have loved to have you for this segment. We talked about guys that we think are going to be bona fide stars no matter what team they're drafted by. It doesn't matter if they're drafted by the Titans, the Cardinals, the
Jets.
Commanders, the Jets. It
Okay.
doesn't matter. They will be a bona fide star no matter what. And this was my guy on offense. I said Jeremiah Love, no matter who he's drafted by, will be a very, very, very studly player in the NFL for a long time.
Okay.
Who do you think will draft Mr. Love?
Ooh.
Does he get
Come
by?
on.
Does he-
I would say Cardinals.
Yeah, you're right. Cardinals number 2 contender to draft Jeremiah Love.
Okay.
Plus 200. The only team ahead of them at minus 105. So Devin's kind of been insinuating the last couple weeks is the lead dog to get him is the Tennessee Titans.
Oh,
At
okay.
number 4. So, but Arizona would have to pass
But
on him.
yeah, Arizona would have to pass on him
Yeah.
because there's still Sonny Styles on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I still think Cardinals are probably the
Most
best
likely.
match for Jeremiah Love. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we've gone through Carson Beck, Jeremiah Love, and of course, Ty Simpson were the 3 players we tried to clue in and key in on where they might be drafted. We also did over-unders on the following guys: Jermon McCoy, the cornerback from Tennessee, Jordan Tyson, the receiver from Arizona State, Carnell Tate, the wide receiver from the Ohio State, Spencer Fano, the offensive tackle from our very own Utah Beehive State, and Mekhi Lemon, the USC receiver. So that is going to wrap up our draft coverage today on the show as draft day tomorrow.
I can't wait. Yeah.
It should be an amazing day for sports fans. And we're going to take a break here. It's been amazing having you all show long. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back right after this break. Here we go. Final segment here on The Drive, as it's been a fun show. We've talked a lot of stuff today. Draft over-unders, Region 9 recap, a little Utah Tech update as Adam Wardenberg named the new head coach of the women's basketball team for Utah Tech. Congrats to him and his beautiful family, as they are the newest residents of St. George, and I think they're going to do big things with the program. We also talked about Region 9 baseball last night, 3 games in action, an amazing game between Crimson and Snow Canyon from the Jungle last night, as they won by 1 run in the later innings, notched that last run to get that lead, and then PJ Hancock closed it out for the Warriors. He was our Jersey Mike's sub of the game. All right, let's go back here. Let's drift back into the Knights Mammoth for the last segment of the show. We kind of opened the show, touched on in the top 8 at 8, but for anyone who wasn't with us for the first segment, it was a thrilling game last night from T-Mobile Arena, as we saw a 3-2 winner for the Utah Mammoth, where Logan Cooley continues to assert himself and just play some great playoff hockey. The level of intensity ramped up, as we all know, in the playoffs. But we got his goal. This is his goal last night. For anyone who didn't hear him, this was the one that put Utah up for good with about 6:14 left in the third period of a tie game, 2-2. And then Logan Cooley says, it's time to make a statement.
Yep.
It's all right.
Now John
there we
Marino
go.
in his own end. Up the boards, Kyler Yamamoto gives way. Gunther's got it. He brings it in. Gunther getting around his man. Gunther with a shot. Stop off the pipe. He scores!
There it is. As Carter Hart had played really great all game, but he showed a chink in the armor there with the rebounds. The rebounds have been a constant kind of theme
for him
with Hart. I mean, he either saves it, gloves it, freezes it, or there's a juicy rebound for somebody. And for that somebody last night was Logan Cooley. And the Knights look to refocus here, as kind of covered a lot of it from the Mammoth angle. But for the Knights, this was a team that had super high expectations coming into the season.
Yeah.
The future bets before the year, I think they were after acquiring Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
They ascended up to like top 4 in the odds to win the cup. Right now, I think a lot of Vegas fans are thinking to themselves, we're in a fight.
They are.
Despite the Mammoth, and we talked about the problems with their scoring, how it's only coming really from 2 guys right now. But as far as what they're able to do on the ice, I think stylistically, this is a bad matchup for the Knights. These kids are fast. They get up and down the ice. They make these older Knights veterans kind of work hard in the corners. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a 5-gamer. I think a lot of Knights fans said, all right, we lost 1 at home. We're going to refocus and get the ship righted, and this will be a 5-6 game series.
Yeah.
While you were gone, me and Devin picked series winners.
Okay.
So Devin picked the Knights, and I picked the Mammoth. And after game 1, I was really afraid for the Mammoth's chances. If they fell down 2-0, it's probably curtains on the series. Probably call it quits, because I don't think they could come back from 2-0 in their first ever playoff series. But now, 1-1.
1-1.
1-1.
Going to home ice.
Going back to Utah.
Yep, for 2 games.
And
they are great at home.
Yes.
So I don't know. I still am going to go with the Mammoth.
Yeah, you weren't here for the pre-series predictions, but tied 1-1, pretty much the same at this point. So, I really think that there's a good chance this goes 7, and I don't think I know the winner yet. I picked the Mammoth, and I was kind of hoping that they would get their first series win, but it's been tough. It's been really tough just seeing the level of play on the ice and these kids just matching up to the physicality of the Knights.
And like you said, they are kids, but they are going to go to home ice.
Yeah.
And I think Torrey's going to get them dialed in. And as they, I'm sure the first 2 games is just kind of like deer in the headlights, right?
Yeah.
For these young guys that have never been in this environment.
Yeah.
But they are going to adjust. They're going to get better. And so I think we will see, a deeper bench, like you said, like Schmaltz, Paterka, even Keller.
Yeah.
Some of those will step up as well.
Yeah.
And start scoring. And I think, if they can split the home ice games, that would be great. But if they could come away with 2 wins at home, then I think the Mammoth will take it for sure.
And you don't know. That's kind of the hidden variable in all this, is how the Mammoth are going to play at home. They obviously answered the bell in game 2.
Yeah.
But in the third period of game 1, they melted. They clearly weren't ready for the playoff game 1.
And Veggie just messed up big time too.
He didn't have a great game in game 1.
No, and when he was supposed to get off the ice to do the empty net and he wasn't paying attention, like that just kind of screwed the pooch.
Killed him. Yeah. And he played a much better game.
He did. He redeemed himself in game 2. So we forget all is forgiven.
All is forgiven. And I think he will play another great game at home. He obviously plays better at home.
At home, yeah.
He loves the home ice. The fans love him. He's a big fan favorite.
Exactly.
You see the broccoli heads all throughout the crowd.
Yep.
So I think that he's going to stand tall. I think he's going to have a good game. Now, the big key for the Mammoth is the Knights have a huge amount of talent with Marner, Eichel, Stone, Dorofeev, all these guys that can score, all these guys that are super skilled in the open ice. But I think the Mammoth's big advantage, and I kept telling Devin, speed kills in the playoffs. It's the most important element. You can hit all you want and be physical, but if a guy is streaming past you with the puck like Gunther did last night, you got problems. Houston, we got a problem. Gunther's going in. So it is going to be really interesting to see game 3. Tomorrow on the show, tentatively planned for the 8 o'clock hour, is the voice of the Mammoth, Mike Folta, going to try and join us. Was going to join us today, but the team flight a little close to our show time. So it wasn't a good opportunity to get him this morning, but he is great. He's always a great guest and tons of insight and content. So I'm looking forward to having him on the show with us tomorrow, Tara. I know you are too.
I am as well. Yes.
Yeah, he's going to preview the game 3, which will be in Utah, like we've said, on Friday night. And man, it couldn't be a bigger game. I mean, as far as for this area, you've got 2 teams 5 hours away down the highway.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of Utah fans in Vegas. I presume a lot of Vegas fans will be in
be
Utah.
Going up. Yeah.
So it creates, like I've talked to Devin, I want this to become a rivalry.
Right.
It's so bad.
I think we should call it the I-15 insurrection or something.
There you go. Yeah. See, you're thinking. Like, that's how rivalries start.
Right?
You got these cool taglines and nicknames.
Yeah.
And, it starts with a playoff series. I don't think that these teams hated each other in the regular season, but playing 7 potentially straight games, you're going to start to dislike each other by the end of this. But we don't dislike any of you out there listening. Thanks so much for being with us all show today. We're going to give some love to some quick sponsors here. One Health of St. George is family care, more than checkups and charts. It's about connection. Meet Dr. Carl Turner, board certified in family medicine, known for his compassion, expertise. And how about this, Tara? Maybe even a few balloon animals for the little ones.
That.
From newborns to grandparents, Dr. Turner treats every patient like family because to him, that's what they are. Now accepting new patients at One Health. Call today or visit onehealthclinics.com. Also brought to you today by Coral Canyon Golf Course. It's almost long drive time, Tara.
Yeah.
I know you're quite the long driver. I didn't hit the grid last year, but we're going to aim for that grid
but
this year.
There's always this year. Yeah.
There is. And even if you're not going to the long drive, which will be coming up in a few months, it's fantastic. Get out and play great golf for a great price. Call for tee times 435-688-1700 or at coralcanyongolf.com. Tara did an amazing job today for myself. Devin will be back on Monday. We got the show tomorrow. We'll see you.